जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुनातीरा वनचारी यमुनातीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Rasa Bihari Radha Rasa Bihari Radhe Jaya Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman Jaya Goranita Jaya Goranita Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajakacarya Stottar Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajakacarya Stottar Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. One. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today morning we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 8. Lord Krishna shows the universal form. Text 31. Okay. Please repeat. एवं धार्ष्ट्यानुशति कुरुते मेहनादीनिवास्तौ स्तेयोपाये विरचितकृतिः सुप्रतीको यथास्ते इत्थं स्त्रीभिः सभनयन श्रीमुखलोकिनीभिः व्याख्यातार्था प्रहसितमुखी न लब्धुमिच्छत् एवं धार्ष्ट्र्यानुशति कुरुते मेहनादीदिवास्तौ स्तेयोपायैर्विरचितकृतिः सुप्रतीको यथास्ते इत्थं स्त्रीभिः सभनयनं श्रीमुखालोकिनीभिः व्याख्यातार्था प्रहसितमुखी न ह्युपलब्धुमैच्छत् एवं धार्ष्ट्र्यानुशति कुरुते मेहनादीनिवास्तौ स्तेयोपायैर्विरचितकृतिः सुप्रतीको यथास्ते इत्थं स्त्रीभिः सभनयन श्रीमुखालोकिनीभिः व्याख्यातार्था प्रहसितमुखी न ह्युपलब्धमैच्छत् धार्ष्ट्र्यानुशति कुरुते एवं धार्ष्ट्र्यानुशति कुरुते मेहनादीनि स्तेयोपायैर्विरचितकृतिः सुप्रतीको यथास्ते व्याख्यातार्था प्रस्थितमुखीन कृपालब्धुमिच्छत्. Mataji's. एवं धार्ष्ट्यानुशति कुरुते मेहनादि निवास्तौ स्तेयोपायैर्विरचितकृतिः सुप्रतीको यथास्ते. इत्थं स्त्रीभिः सभयनयन श्रीमुखालोकिनीभिः व्याख्यातार्था प्रहसितमुखीन ह्युपालब्धुमैच्छत्. Word to word translation. Evam, in this way, dharshtyani, naughty activities, ushati, in a neat and clean place, kurute, sometime does, mehan adini, passing stool and urine, vastau, in our houses, steya upayai, and by inventing different devices to steal butter and milk. Virachitakriti is very expert. Supratikaha is now sitting down here like a very good, well-behaved child. Yathaste, while staying here. Itham, all these topics of conversation. Stribhihi, by the gopis. Sabhayanayana, just now sitting there with fearful eyes. Sri Mukha, such a beautiful face. Alokinibhi, by the gopis who were enjoying the pleasure of seeing. Vyakhyat artha, and while complaining against him before mother Yashoda. Prahasita mukhi, they were smiling and enjoying. Na, not. He, indeed. Upalabdhum, to chastise and threaten. Rather, she enjoyed how Krishna was sitting there as a very good boy. Aichat, she desired. Translation and purport. Translation. When Krishna is caught in his naughty activities, the master of the house will say to him, "Oh, you are a thief," and artificially express anger at Krishna. Krishna will then reply, "I am not a thief, you are a thief." Sometimes being angry, Krishna passes urine and stool in the neat, clean place in our houses. But now our dear friend Yashoda, this expert thief is sitting before you like a very good boy. Sometimes all the gopis would look at Krishna sitting there, his eyes fearful, so that his mother would not chastise him. And when they saw Krishna's beautiful face, instead of chastising him, they would simply look upon his face and enjoy transcendental bliss. Mother Yashoda would simply smile at this fun, and she would not want to chastise her blessed transcendental child. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Krishna's business in the neighborhood was not only to steal but sometimes to pass stool and urine in a neat, clean house. When caught by the master of the house, Krishna would chastise him, saying, "You are a thief." Aside from being a thief in his childhood affairs, Krishna acted as an expert thief when he was young by attracting young girls and enjoying them in the rasa dance. This is Krishna's business. He is also violent as the killer of many demons. All the mundane people like non-violence and other such brilliant qualities. God, the absolute truth being always the same, is good in any activities. Even so-called immoral activities like stealing, killing and violence. Krishna is always pure and he is always the supreme absolute truth. Krishna may do anything supposedly abominable in material life, yet still he is attractive. Therefore, his name is Krishna, meaning all attractive. This is the platform on which transcendental loving affairs and service are exchanged. Because of the features of Krishna's face, the mothers were so attracted that they could not chastise him. Instead of chastising him, they smiled and enjoyed hearing of Krishna's activities. Thus the gopis remained satisfied and Krishna enjoyed their happiness. Therefore, another name of Krishna is Gopijana Vallabha, because he invented such activities to please the gopis. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this is a very nice, amazing pastimes of Krishna that which nowadays we are singing this Damodarashtakam, and here we can see this very naughty pastimes of Krishna, which are very attractive. So we will like to discuss today some of these pastimes. To start, I would like to take the blessings of Maharaj and other senior Vaishnavas. So here, as we are every day now chanting this Damodarashtakam prayers, here Satyavrata Muni says, Iti druksvalilabhirananda kunde svaghosham nimajjantam akyapayantam tadiyeshi tadneshu bhaktairjitatvam puna prematastam shatavruti vande. So here, very nicely, it's demonstrated that Krishna performs such activities, such pastimes, by which everybody is drowned in the lake of great happiness. And why he does such activities like a small child? He says, Tadiyeshi tadneshu bhaktairjitatvam punah prematastam shatavrati vande. That he wants to make sure, a very clear indication to those who are trying to understand him by logic, trying to understand and capture him by their yoga and by their powers. So Krishna wants to give a very clear-cut indication that I am not conquered by any of this, but then bhaktair jitatvam, and that also happens by the love of his devotees. So this very clear-cut message Krishna wants to show, that none of this world can attract Krishna. No endeavors on material platform can attract Krishna. But then simple love of his devotees not only attracts but conquers. So here also we find that the list of such pastimes is given. His naughty activities are given. And these are very nice to hear, nice to meditate, and we'll also see that why Krishna performs such activities. So here, now the whole section is there of Krishna's childhood pastimes. Even Parikshit Maharaj, when he is hearing Shukadeva Goswami very clearly he says that specifically Shukadeva Goswami started narrating the childhood pastime of the Lord because it was asked by Parikshit Maharaj. Because these are the pastimes not like once to be heard and then forget. Parikshit Maharaj himself must have heard these pastimes hundreds of times. But then, when it came that very nice match is there, such a self-realized, very highly elevated devotee like Shukadeva Goswami is there, and Parikshit Maharaj is in great emergency, and all the great sages has appeared there. What can be better place than that to talk about Krishna and hear about Krishna? So there he requested that, my dear Shukadeva Goswami, please talk about Krishna's very special childhood pastimes. Tokam Adbhuta Charitam. Toka means little boy, Krishna. So childhood pastimes of Krishna are very they attract the conditioned soul, they attract the minds of even very elevated, liberated souls also. So what are these activities? These activities are, he says here that If Krishna is caught, then he will say that you are a thief. Although he goes and makes a plan and then he breaks the pot, but when he is caught, Krishna is so daring, Krishna is so charming that sometimes he will act as if he has not done anything wrong, rather there is wrong on other part. So when he is caught for stealing, he will say that, who is thief? You are a thief. So one thing is there, here Prabhupada also writes that when Krishna is speaking anything or Krishna's activities, they are absolute. Absolute means they are not to be judged or can be calculated from material point of view. Because same section is going on of Krishna eating the dirt. So now there are varieties of acharyas who have given varieties of meanings. When Mother Yashoda asked Krishna that, Krishna, have you eaten dirt? He said no. So the acharyas, they say that Krishna only comes here to establish the religion, and then there are 4 legs of religion. In that one is Satyam. So Krishna personally establishes Satyam. That is the purpose of his coming here in this world. So the Lord who personally comes to establish Satyam, how he can speak Asatyam? So that cannot be. But then here he is telling that he didn't. Although the Gopas and all other coward boys, even Balaram, yesterday I was hearing, Prabhupada was telling that, he was telling that in such cases, specifically this pastime, when Krishna had gone, all other coward boys, they complained to Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda said, Krishna, why you are doing such naughty activities? Why you have eaten dirt? Krishna said, no, I have not eaten dirt. He said, no, but all the coward boys, they are telling. He says, no, they are, actually what happened is, we had a fight and they are angry with me, that's why they are complaining. So I have not eaten dirt. He said, okay, the boys are angry with you, but Balramji also is telling that you have eaten dirt. He says, no, Balramji also has become my enemy now because of that fight. So mother said, okay, still I want to check. Open your mouth. So then Krishna opened his mouth. And then he showed the whole universal form, which was very bewildering to Mother Yashoda. So when by seeing that, what she was seeing is everything she was seeing inside of the same dimension. It was not like a zipped file of everything, some compressed. It was of the same dimension. She was seeing all the oceans, all the universes, all the mountains, everything. And she was seeing all the living entities, including herself, looking, catching Krishna and looking in the mouth of Krishna, inside the mouth of Krishna. So that was very bewildering to Mother Yashoda. And by seeing that, she became little sober. Bhagavatam describes that she started thinking that what is this? She says that means this person is very great. He is God. And I am thinking God as my child. That is completely wrong. Then she started telling that this kind of attachment, material attachment, it's so bad. And I consider myself, queen of Vrindavan, and everything belongs to me. He said, this is aham mameti, and now I understand that I am not this body, I am spirit, soul, and this is all energy of the Lord. But so ignorant I am that I don't understand this. So she started she became very philosophical. So one devotee was telling that when he was describing this, that Mother Yashoda fell down to the position of self-realization. So like that. She was very highly elevated. So she came down to by Krishna showing his opulence. But then Krishna was not very happy with this self-realization. Krishna smiled. Krishna smiled so nicely that she forgot that self-realization. And again she started feeling the same love before. She caught Krishna, embraced, and she was just happy seeing Krishna's smiling face. So we see that when Krishna is performing these very naughty activities, and sometimes that naughty activities may look little too much also. The way here activities are, says that sometimes being angry, Krishna passes stool and urine in a neat, clean place in the houses of the Gopas. That if Krishna becomes little angry because he goes to some home and there is nothing there to steal, then Krishna becomes very angry and passes stool and urine. So when the devotees hear this, they are in great bliss. Our material activities are so tiny and so meaningless. Because that is the meaning of Leela. As Madhvacharya very nicely he says that apurnasya purnarthe chesta, that in this world to perform some activity, some endeavor, that is called as karma, when it is done to complete something. Some people are poor, so to become rich they do job. So that is karma. Some people want fame, so they do so many activities of advertising themselves. That is karma. Or some people are very weak, they want health, so they go to gym and other things. So that is called as karma. So they are apurna, they want to become purna. And whatever activities they do to become purna, that is called as a material activities. But in Krishna's case, there is nothing he has to achieve. Krishna doesn't need to achieve fame so that he has to do these activities. Krishna is already famous. He is famous all over the universe and in the spiritual world, which is like 3/4. Everybody is glorifying him with pure love. So there is nothing he has to do extra to enhance his fame more. No. So when Krishna is doing these activities, that is just to give pleasure to the devotees and have that reciprocation. So when Krishna is performing such activities, and we see also whenever Krishna comes, he performs such activities. Even in case of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he comes, he also used to perform such a wonderful activities in Shri Navadvip Dham, Mayapur, where he appeared. When he was very small boy, he will go around with his team of other friends, and they will do very innovative things so that they can trouble people. Sometimes what they will do is, at the night, they used to have a lot of places where they will grow some fruits and sabji, and there will be nice banana farms. Night what they will do is, they gather and then they put some blanket over 4 or 5 children. And then in the night it will look like a big animal, some bull or something. So night they will come and then they will destroy the banana plants in somebody's fields. And the person will come by hearing the noise, and then he will see very huge animal, because in the night, and then they will charge. So they will run away, thinking that, okay, big bull is there, so leave it. Tomorrow we'll see. And when this will happen, all these boys, they will clap, laugh, and be happy. Sometimes they used to invent such things by which to give trouble. Generally, nowadays, everything has become attached, bathroom and like that. Previously, it was not like that. Previously, people used to go out. So, we are hearing that previously they used to eat inside home and go outside for clearing. Nowadays, people, they eat outside and come and pass stool and urine inside home. So that was not the case before. People were very cultured, and the cultural part is that generally these kind of things are done away from home. So now the new culture has come. It's like that has become a norm. So now, here what used to be there, everybody used to go on the fields with taking lota, and then they will do and then come back. Early morning everybody goes. So what they will do is, they will go just before these people they get up and lock their door from outside. And then all the boys, they will stand outside. So when the people will get up, now the pressure is there, so they will prepare their lota and they will try to open the house. But now it is locked from outside. So then what they can do? Nature is calling, but then call of nature now restricted from outside. So then they will wait, they will bang, they'll say, open, 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 and then nobody is there to open. Children are laughing outside. Now that nature call turns into nature scream, that it becomes too much. And then from inside they are shouting that please, please, open, otherwise, The more the eagerness of inside people, the more outside people with Nimai, they will enjoy. And soon that nature's scream will become nature's howling. It will become like a crescendo of their, and then they will kind of will be shouting inside. And Nimai will have a lot of pleasure like that. So this kind of activities Krishna will do whenever he appears. As here also he says that and when all the coward boys, and Krishna, they will make such mischief. The gopis, they will come to home of Mother Yashoda, Nanda Bhavan, and then they will complain. Krishna did like this, Krishna did like that. And Krishna also used to come as if a very gentle, very innocent boy, and just sit next to Mother Yashoda as if nothing has happened. And he will also hear, oh, aisa kiya kya? As if he doesn't know only anything. And then when Mother Yashoda is hearing all this complaint, she will look at Krishna and she will say that it appears that they are cheating. Because Krishna doesn't seem like that. How can my boy, who is so gentle, can do all these things? That is not possible. So they may have some misunderstanding. And then Krishna will be very taking the whole narration of the gopis. That will be very pleasing to Krishna, more than when he is glorified by the personified Vedas and the great sages. That also is not as pleasing to Krishna as when the gopis, they are complaining. So when these things are going on, we find that Krishna gets great pleasure by reciprocating this very wonderful pastimes, reciprocating his love with his devotees through these pastimes. We find in case of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will go and swim in Mother Ganga, and like generally people, they like swimming, but then sometimes we also go in Talasari and swim for a few minutes, 1 hour, like that. But then you can just imagine Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, as small boy Nimai, all the other boys, they are so happy with him, to play with him. And what is their play? Their play is, they will go around, and generally there will be people taking bath inside. Sometimes they will do Gayatri. So some boys, sometimes small Nimai, will go underwater and pull the leg of some Brahmana who is doing Gayatri there. And middle of the Gayatri, he will find himself submerged. And then when he will come, up, seeing what happened. Or some Brahmana is doing Gayatri, then the Nimai will take the water in his mouth, and then just in front of his face only, he will release the whole water on his face. Such a mercy, that, and then he will be so angry. Sometimes what they will do is, there will be 2 ghats for bathing, one for Mataji's, one for Prabhu's. So Nima will go and he will interchange the clothes which are kept outside. Generally, you remove the clothes and then you go inside and take bath and come back and wear. So what they will do is, they will take all the clothes of men, transfer it to the clothes of women, and all the Mataji's clothes they will keep here. When the men will come outside, they will see only saris. So, and they used to have such fun. And this fun used to go for 5-6 hours in a day. And people used to feel that, what is this going on? So many hours and hours they are playing, they themselves will become sick. And they are troubling so much to other people. So they will come and narrate these complaints to Mother Shachi. So when they will come, all these great Brahmanas, they were very gentle. They used to feel okay children are playing, but when it becomes too much, then they will come sometimes because they all respected Shachimata and Jagannath Mishra. But when it became too much, they came. They said that, do you know, your child, he's playing there for 5 hours. Jagannath Mishra said, 5 hours? He said, yeah, we are just coming. He's doing so many naughty activities like this. Jagannath Mishra became very angry. He took a stick and then he went to Ganga. So, generally, Nimai will have all his spies. So, one boy came running to playing Nimai. He said that, Nimai, emergency. Your father is coming here with stick. Nimai said, oh. He said, okay, I am going now. If father comes, you tell him that Nimai today has not come only. He is in school. He said, okay. So then he went from others, path. He ran to the house. So when he came, he saw that all the boys are playing. He asked, where is Nimai? He said, Nimai didn't come today. Generally he doesn't come. So he said, oh really? Where is he? He's in school. So then he comes back, and when he is just about to reach his home, Nimai also comes there with all his books, and but then our Jagannath Mishra is not going to believe so easily. He will call Nimai, and then he will check his hairs, whether they are wet. But the hairs are completely dry, and then he will see that his whole hands are with ink, as if he has written many assignments. And he will be like completely normal. So then he will say, okay, very nice. So we'll see such very amazing pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And here also we find many amazing pastimes of Krishna. They both are non-different whenever they come. But here one thing is there which Prabhupada talks about in the purport. Prabhupada writes, Krishna may do anything supposedly abominable in material life, yet still he is attractive. Therefore his name is all attractive. Because whatever he does, even abominable, Krishna is still attractive. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that one of the quality of Kshatriya, yuddhe chapi apalayanam, that he is courageous and he never fleds away from battle. He never shows his back to his enemy. That is Kshatriya. But when it comes to Krishna, he runs away from battle. When his enemy comes and then he runs away. It happens in Gujarat. And when he runs away from the battle, generally if some Kshatriya runs away from battle, he becomes infamous. But when Krishna runs away from battle, he becomes more famous. As Ranchod Rai. And there is a temple of Ranchod Rai that he ran away so nicely. And it's so glorious. His running away from battle is so glorious. And people are worshipping. When Krishna steals, he eternally is glorified as butter thief, makhan chor. No thief is glorified like that. So we see that Krishna's activities are not material activities. They are pastime, Leela. Like here, one very nice pastime is there of Krishna passing stool and urine in the home. Now, how many times we have done it? Millions of times, right? In this life also, so many times we have passed stool and urine. Anybody talks about it? We also don't talk about it. What to speak of others? But when Krishna passed stool and urine, this becomes Bhagavatam. That comes in Bhagavatam, and then great acharyas, they give commentary on that. And then for eternity that becomes a very memorable pastime. That so nice, Krishna passed stool and urine. So that itself shows that it is not a mundane activity. It is not something, because when Krishna is performing these activities, it looks human. But it is not human. It is transcendental. So, when Krishna is performing these pastimes, we have to see them spiritually. We have to understand them from authoritative scriptures, authorized devotees. Then we can understand the depth of these pastimes, how Krishna performs them. Another thing, Prabhupada writes in the purport that although mundane people like non-violence and other such brilliant qualities, God, the absolute truth, being always the same, is good in any activities. Even so-called immoral activities like stealing, killing and violence. Krishna is always pure. And he is always absolute, supreme absolute truth. So we see that Krishna is always pure, even if he does such impure looking, apparently, such things. And Prabhupada gives example of, aside from being a thief in his childhood affairs, Krishna acted as an expert thief when he was young by attracting young girls and enjoying them in rasa dance. This is Krishna's business. So it may look also that how can Krishna dance with the gopis who are others' wives? Some childhood play is okay, little naughty is okay. But then some of the things which goes out of the boundary of morality, then sometimes people they can't fit in because they have their own definition of God, that God must be like this. When Krishna performs these activities, they go beyond that. So it becomes very difficult for them to accommodate that in their definition of God. So much so that when it was asked to one of the very famous personality in India a few years back, he is famous for speaking on Bhagavad Gita, always carrying Bhagavad Gita and doing prayers. And he is considered a very great personality in the India. When he was asked that, you are carrying Bhagavad Gita, but then Krishna did like this, danced with others' wives. He said that if that is true, then I feel very ashamed that why he has to do that. He said that I feel ashamed to be Hindu, worshipping such God. And I hope that it is not true. It is just. So that is his understanding of Krishna. So, people who don't know anything about Krishna, they become great leaders, talking about Krishna, giving the message of Krishna. That's what creates the whole kind of such a pathetic situation. And this is all happening in India, the land of Dharma, where the person who is the Dharma personified is misunderstood, misjudged. So what to speak of then the whole world? So here, we have to see that these pastimes of Krishna are not ordinary. And that's why, scientifically, unless we understand from the authorized sources, surely we will also be victimized by such kind of non-shastric opposing elements. Because when the same pastime of Rasa Leela, which is narrated by Shukadeva Goswami in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So when the whole pastime is narrated, because Parikshit Maharaj is not hearing only for himself. Parikshit Maharaj knows that these are the pastimes which are going to be heard in future also. And not all the people will be of that caliber qualified to hear these pastimes. So time to time he asks some questions to clarify things, not for exactly himself but for everybody. We find even Arjuna asking these questions time to Krishna, that in the 11th chapter Krishna is asked to prove his supremacy. So Arjuna is clear with the supremacy of Krishna, but then to make sure that in future there should not be any doubt in the minds of people, so he requested Krishna, and Krishna also accepted that request and showed his universal form to kind of stamp on his, when he is saying that aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate, it is not that anybody can say like this and go without proving it. When Krishna says it, he is proving also. So here, when Shukadeva Goswami is telling this, one of the most very elevated pastime of Rasa Leela, after the whole pastime, Parikshit Maharaj asked this question and told him to clarify. He says, Shri Parikshita Uvacha, this is canto 10, 33, 27. These are the pastimes which, specifically Rasa Leela, one devotee had asked Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, whenever I read these pastimes, I become little disturbed. Prabhupada said, then you should not read it. Because if the medicine is acting like a, it's creating difficulty, then we should wait till we become capable to digest that medicine and will have that proper effect. So these pastimes, generally at our beginning stage of Krishna consciousness, we don't recommend. Neither Prabhupada recommended. But then here, why it is not recommended? Because people have these doubts. With these doubts, if they are not cleared, they will be more troubled than getting some benefit. So Parikshit Maharaj says, Samsthapanaya dharmasya prashamayetarasya cha avatirno hi bhagavan anshena jagadishvaraha sa katham dharma setunam vakta karta bhirakshita pratipamacharad brahman paradara bhimarshanam. Parikshit Maharaj said, O Brahmana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord of the universe, has descended to the earth along with his plenary portions to destroy irreligion and re-establish religious principles. Indeed, he is the original speaker, follower and guardian of moral laws. How then could he have violated them by touching other men's wives? Very valid question he is asking. At the end of the whole, he says, how did he do that? Aptakamo yadupati krutavan vai jugupsitam kimabhipraya etannah samshayam chindi suvrata. O faithful upholder of vows, please destroy our doubt by explaining to us what purpose the self-satisfied Lord of the Yadus had in mind when he is behaved so contemptibly. So this is the way of asking question. He is not asking question, why did Krishna do it? He is telling that what was in the mind of Krishna, what was the purpose of Krishna. I accept that whatever he has done is right only, but how it is right, can you tell me? So he is telling that, can you please tell me what is the reason behind? Shri Shuka uvacha dharma vyatikramo drishta ishwaranam cha sahasam tejiyasam na doshaya vanhe sarvabhujo yatha. Shukadeva Goswami said, the status of powerful controllers is not harmed by any apparently audacious transgression of morality we may see in them, for they are just like fire which devours everything fed into it and remains unpolluted. So first, the reason which Shukadeva Goswami gives is that Krishna is all powerful, all pure, and he gives here example of a fire. Fire is all pure. Even if impure things are put into fire, they burn to ashes, and then fire still remains pure. It's not that by feeding some impure things in fire, fire becomes impure. And he says that Krishna is all powerful. Krishna is compared to the sun. That sun, even if he touches the urine and stool, sun doesn't become impure. Rather, when sun dries the stool and urine, that place becomes pure, purified again. So similarly, what to speak of Krishna, anything which comes to in his touch becomes purified. And then he goes on giving so many reasons why Krishna performed these pastimes. They are elaborate, will not go into detail. Yeah, so here he says, Yat pada pankaja paraga nivesha vrittishe vatrupta yoga prabhava vidhuta khila karma bandha svairam charanti manayo pinanahyamana tasyechayatava pushah kuta eva bandha. Material activities never entangle the devotees of the Supreme Lord, who are fully satisfied by serving the dust of his lotus feet. Nor do material activities entangle those intelligent sages who have freed themselves from a bondage of all fruitive reactions by the power of yoga. So how could there be any question of bondage for the Lord himself, who assumes his transcendental form according to his own sweet will? So he says that the devotees are unattached, unattracted, or they doesn't become bound by materialistic activities. So what to speak of the Lord, who is the protector of these devotees? And then the last verse of this, he says, this is 39th verse. Vikriditam rajavadhu bhiridam cha vishno shraddhanvito nshunuyat athavarnayedya bhaktim param bhagavati pratilabhya kamam rudro gamashu apahinoti achirena dhiraha. Anyone who faithfully hears or describes the Lord's playful affairs with the young gopis of Vrindavan will attain the Lord's pure devotional service. Thus he will quickly become sober and conquer lust, the disease of the heart. So what to speak of seeing them as lusty affairs? It has a power to eradicate lust of the whole world. When these pastimes are heard in proper way from authoritative scriptures, from the authoritative speaker. That's why it is such a great benediction which Prabhupada has offered us, that although such pure Bhagavatam is there, which had almost lost its significance because of the onslaught of Kali Yuga, but again he has re-established and distributed kind of such a mass distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam. Like now we are also so happy to hear such a nice course in Bhadra campaign that devotees were trying for 10,000, it has become now 30,000. So by such kind of activities of book distribution and spreading this awareness, knowledge about Krishna can actually destroy this very great ignorance in the hearts of people. Then they will be able to appreciate Krishna's such wonderful pastimes. So we are seeing today that how Krishna comes in this world to do these very mischievous, naughty pastimes. And we saw some of the pastimes of Krishna and the small Nimai, how they perform these wonderful pastimes. But then we see that these pastimes are performed not on the material plane. They are performed on spiritual plane. And then we saw that that is what the difference between a Leela and a normal karma is. And here in the end we are seeing that Shukadeva Goswami, he is not just talking about these pastimes as a kind of just for, there are so many other speakers, that's what they do, without proper understanding, proper science, they are just speaking these pastimes. Shukadeva Goswami was not like that. When he was asked, then he had a proper understanding and very scientifically he proves that it is not contaminated activities or it is not the material activities. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaur Premanande.